Good morning, Earthlings. Eli the Restorer doing the Pineal meditation live in my humble abode. And one of the reasons we started this whole experience is every spiritual community has a service. And I've been to different types of services over the years, over many years. And I find that doing this meditation is one of the coolest services I've ever been to. But as Eli likes to say, I've already drank the Kool-Aid. So we're going to do the Pineal meditation today. It's a 60-minute meditation, and some people like, what? They haven't meditated that long. Well, sometimes calming the left brain, the parrot brain, as I like to call it, takes a little while, but ultimately this meditation allows us to come into the right brain, the mystical part, the more spiritual part of us, the creative part. And it was interesting. I had a young lady that did this meditation with us a couple of nights ago at Unity, and she'd been meditating for years, she said, and she was blown away by this meditation. She was like, she couldn't explain it. So how this happened is Eli went to Colorado to meet a rabbi. I had no idea I was going to meet a rabbi there. Rabbi Joe Baxt. He has a great website, City of Luz. He's my probably most powerful teacher. And Rabbi Joel has been studying the Kabbalah all his life. And he had a meeting with Rick Strassman, Dr. Strassman, who wrote a book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule. And this meditation has the hope that if we stimulate our pineal gland for a while, we can release some of the DMT. And what is it doing in our bodies? Why did the Creator put it there? It allows us to have experiences that nobody can explain. Because, DMT is a hallucinogenic. There is a theory and a belief that it's in every cell of our body, but I don't think that's been proven yet. But that's why we use breath to do this. So we're going to use a CD that was specifically made for this meditation. The gentleman's name he donated to the cause, his name is Astral Fog. He's on the internet if you want to find him. And the CD does two things. It slows the brain waves down to theta, the meditative state, the quiet state, and it tends to open the third eye up. So I'm going to show you the breathing pattern. I'm a trained rebirther, Leonard Orr's work. If you're new to this, you may not want to go this fast. I don't want you to freak out. We're going to do this breathing for 20 minutes. And it's up through here, through the nose. So it looks like this. Okay? So if you're not comfortable with that, I've done that for 2 hours on several occasions. Nothing bad happened. I survived, obviously. But the breathing is going to be accompanied by something else, stimulating our pineal gland, which sits right here in the middle of our brain. So if you can imagine, this is your head, a straw coming from the back of your neck, through the pineal, out the forehead, and then these two, where the arrows are, these two arrows come back around. It's a torus. So the way you want to think about this is through, on the inhale, exhale, back around. We're going to do that for 5 minutes. And then we're going to do the big torus for 15 minutes. And my friend Joe that created this is producing all this. He put this wonderful torus together. It's a two-tailed Ouroboros. So you can think of this on many levels: left brain, right brain, middle brain. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start at the root chakra. We're going to come all the way up the chakras, through the pineal, out the top of the head, but the two tails come back around. So as you're breathing, you're going to keep rotating the torus. You're going to do that after we do the 20 minutes of breathing also. You don't have to breathe, you do your normal breathing, but keep the torus going for protection. You just want to stay safe, because when you do this meditation, you're going to have otherworldly experiences. And again, you don't have to believe me like the young lady that came to the class on Thursday. I tell people that, but until you taste it, yeah, maybe, maybe not. So you don't need to see anything when you do this meditation. When I did it Thursday, I didn't see a lot. Sometimes I see tons. I've had extraterrestrials right up here. I've seen my dead cat recently. Think of all your senses being involved in this. So sometimes it's very visual for me. Sometimes it's kinesthetic, emotional. You're going to get what you need today. So don't judge it. So we're going to do the breathing for 20 minutes. 5 minutes through the head, 15 minutes through the chakras. And then we're going to travel to a little city called Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem, there's this wonderful temple, the Muslim temple. And under the rock, the temple is this rock. That's called the Avestia in Judaism. Now, the Muslims now control that area, but in the Jewish tradition, that is the rock where Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, where Jacob had his dream, where both temples were built, and many, many other things in the Jewish tradition. So what's really cool about this meditation today, you talk about inner faith, we're using a Muslim temple, we're using Jewish tradition, and you've got a Catholic teaching you this. So how cool is that? So I'm going to say we're going to go to Jerusalem, and you're going to see this in your mind's eye. Use your imagination, and then you're going to see yourself laying on that rock. Okay? That rock is the primary vortex between this world and the other worlds. I've been to Jerusalem twice, and when I couldn't go into the temple because I'm not Muslim, but when I was around that area, my brother and I, we felt an amazing buzz, an amazing vibration. So we're going to see ourselves laying on the foundation stone, and then we're going to put on our earmuffs. Now this is from Rabbi Joel. I'll show you this, but if you imagine yourself, Sandalphon, the angel on the left ear, Metatron on the right ear. So you just imagine this. These were the two angels that were on the Ark of the Covenant. And they weren't there just for decoration, folks. When you're on the stone and you have these two angels involved, it amplifies the essence of the stone. It's really, really powerful. So what you're going to do is you're going to put on your earmuffs. This is a graphic from Rabbi Joel's wonderful website. You put them on, and then imagine the back of your neck, the occipital area, walking up into your pineal gland, and keep your attention and consciousness in your pineal and on your third eye. We're not going to need these eyes for this meditation because these eyes are tied into left brain duality. When you're sitting here, you're in your right brain. The pineal gland in the Jewish tradition is the only part of our body that's still in the tree of life. It's still in unity. Everything else is duality. Left eye, right eye, left arm, right arm. So if we can keep our focus and consciousness here, you stay in unity consciousness. So we'll put the earmuffs on, you walk in your pineal gland. If you're interested in the pineal gland a little bit more, the Gaia website, there's documentaries on there. It's a wonderful website I subscribe to. And Rabbi Joel has a 1-hour documentary on there. So if you go on to Gaia, go to the pineal gland section and find, it's called the foundation stone, and he'll explain the significance of the pineal gland in the Jewish tradition and why we're doing what we're doing today. The whole meditation, you keep your focus and attention here, because we're going to be, I wear mindfolds. You can get these on Amazon for like $14. You're not going to need these eyes. You're going to keep your focus and attention here the whole time. And then, so I got a sayings with this, folks. Whatever you see, don't look at it. And that confuses people initially. So whatever you're seeing from here, if you try to look from here, you're going to go left brain, boop, gone. And I blew that several times when I was learning this meditation starting in 2006. Okay, so we're in our pineal glands. Now, we're going to have an intention to connect our pineal glands to anybody doing this meditation today. That way it's like the internet of people. And then we just changed this, and it's really been powerful. We connect our pineal glands to one another, and then we're going to connect our pineal glands to everybody in the world. They will have this experience. And recently, my twin brother Tim was working at Unity when we did this meditation, and he was like 50 feet away, but he got the full effects of this. And he said, I couldn't sleep that night. I was up at 3:30, because that's what happens to me. This, I think, raises my vibration and my energy, and it carries it for several days. So we've connected pineal glands to the meditators today, and our goal is to get 9,000 people doing this worldwide, minimum. Greg Braden, in his wonderful book, The Divine Matrix, talks about if you're doing anything for healing the earth, healing, violence and different things, you need the square root of 1% of the world's population. So we took 8 billion people, because who knows, are there that many? And the square root of that is 8,945, so we rounded off to 9,000. And what my hope and belief is by doing this and getting that many people together to do this on a regular basis, we can change the world from separation consciousness to unity consciousness. So again, any of your senses or your emotions can be utilized. Sometimes I feel like sobbing when I do this because I'm in so much awe and bliss. So just don't expect anything. What you need today will happen for you. It's important to let go. And sometimes it's hard for us to let go because the ego wants to control everything. From the beginning, I have been explaining this meditation as similar to near-death experience. And I just knew that on some level because I've studied and done research on near-death people. It fascinates me. Well, then a couple of months ago, I ran into a questionnaire by Dr. Grayson that he hands out to people who have had near-death experiences. And there's 16 questions, and you rate them. And some of my regular meditators that have been doing this, including myself, we filled that sheet out, and everybody scored into the 20s that have been doing this. So that's why there's a little backup that you're going to leave your body today. And I want to share a quote from Rick Strassman's book, DMT, The Spirit Molecule, from Freud. Freud says the ego is first and foremost a body ego. With no body, what's left? So if you're able to transition over and allow yourself to go, wherever you're going today, the ego stays with the body. And if you're really interested in learning the science behind this a little bit more, there's a study that the Army did in 1983 called the Gateway Experience. And you can Google it. It's now available for all of us. And it's similar to this meditation. It's about, they call it hemisync, going from the left brain to the right brain. And they talk about the torus in there, why we're using a torus, and the experiences, the mystical experiences people can have. Part of the reason I like doing this is I like the mystical experiences. Eli is always, liked hallucinogenics when I was younger than that. I don't do that anymore, but I still do it using this. So for me personally, it's a powerful experience. But for us globally, it could definitely create more unity consciousness. And I told somebody Thursday when we were doing it at Unity, and this lady was a little skeptical, and I said, well, nothing else is working. What do we got to lose? The world's a mess. You see all this separation, the violence, the hatred in that. So let's try something different. If you have any questions or comments for Eli, we're on Facebook. You can email me. There's different ways to get a hold of me. If you're not into this, you're not into this. People that are awakening or have awakened, especially the younger people, I know they're looking for something. We frequently get young people, 20-somethings, doing this meditation. So if you try to be kind is what I'm getting at. If this isn't for you, it's not for you. Move on. Find something that works for you. When we're done today, If you got to drive somewhere, be careful because you're going to be altered. You want to ground yourself. You know, these are my arms, these are my hands. Make sure you're grounded and drive into grandma and grandpa lane. Okay? Tomorrow or tonight, some of you will sleep like babies and some won't need a lot of sleep. The way it works for Eli is I'll sleep tonight, but I'll be up wide awake tomorrow because the energy is just so powerful. And I really truly believe this meditation, by leaving our bodies to go to other spiritual realms, is good for us physically. It keeps us healthier. You know, when you look at near-death people like Anita Moorjani, who wrote the book Dying to Be Me, and which is a powerful book, I highly recommend it. She had a cancer that was ready to kill her, and she had her wonderful near-death experience, and when she came back in her body, she chose to come back in. I think it was 7 weeks, the cancer was gone, never came back. Blew doctors away, because this is something different than what traditional medicine talks about. When you go out into these spiritual realms, it changes us. And I've been doing this since 2006, and I know things are so different for me. I don't live in the same world most people do. It's like Jesus said, be in the world, but not of the world. I get that now at a very deep level. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, you want to get comfortable. I recommend laying on the floor, but if you tend to fall asleep, and that's okay because you're still going to have a powerful experience, but you won't remember it. You can do this sitting in a chair, but usually I say lay down because you don't want your body to be involved in this. After a while, you're not even going to have a body. Your consciousness is going to be so far gone. And you want to empty your bladders and turn on the cell phone and that. You want this hour to be just you being present to this experience. So get rid of the distractions, empty your bladder, and I'll come back to you in a couple minutes and we'll get this thing started. Oh, one last piece. I can be a blonde sometimes. I am. After we connect our pineal glands to people doing the meditation today and then the people in the world, then we're going to say a sacred sound. It's called Makom. It means the place of God. So you do this for a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it goes like this. Makom. When I started using that, when Rabbi Joel suggested that, I noticed two things immediately. Number one, I could feel the vibration go up. And number two, my focus got a lot better here. So we're going to do that. The other thing, everything I just told you, I'll be telling you during this meditation. Once we get to the Makom part, I'll turn up the music, and then you can have your experience, whatever you're meant to have today. Okay, get yourself ready. Hopefully you're all ready or close to being ready. I'm going to use the timer to tell us where we're at because I don't want to be thinking about this. And we'll get started. So we're going to be breathing from the back of the neck through the forehead and then back around for 5 minutes. Again, if you can't keep up with my breathing, I've done this for a long time, speed it up to your discomfort level, but don't freak out. Okay, now we're going to do the bigger torus. So start the breath from the root chakra, through all the chakras, through your pineal, out the crown chakra, and have the two tails come back around. You don't have to see any of this, just imagine it and it's done. what we're going to do is we're going to slow our breathing down to normal, but with your intention, keep your torso rotating. And then I want you to use your imagination and see that stone, travel to Jerusalem with your intention. See it. And then see yourself laying on it. And again, your intention will make this happen. And then let's put on the earmuffs, Sandalphon on the left ear, and Metatron on the right ear. And from the back of your neck, your occipital area, imagine walking up those stairs, up into your pineal gland and your third eye area. And that's where I want you to keep your focus the whole time. And with our intention, let's connect our pineal glands to everybody doing this today with us. Wherever they're at in the world. And now let's take our internet pineal gland intention and connect everybody in the world. Just say it to yourself. My intention is to connect this group's pineals to everyone in the world. And when I turn the music back up, we're going to do the sacred sound of Mach Home for as long as you want to. So thank you for joining us today. That was pretty amazing for me. It wasn't real visual today, which sometimes, well, frequently happens. It's not about being visual. It's cool when it is. But for me, it felt like my chest was so open that like I was all over the place. It's kind of like the movie Lucy. Where are you? I'm everywhere. And, you know, when Eckhart Tolle talks about beingness, you know, I like the man's work, but my thing is I want people to have that experience instead of reading about it. And I truly believe this meditation is one way to experience what Eckhart has been teaching us. So we're looking for 9,000 Pineal soldiers out there. Please spread the word. We'll be advertising more and more, because I know there's a lot of people in the world that are waking up or have already awakened that are looking for something to help everyone. And Eli's mission, you know, the name Eli means unity, and the restorer part is to restore us to wholeness, to the pre-fall stage. And you know, all the religious traditions believe in the fall of Adam to some degree. And we got to get back from the tree of knowledge to the tree of life. And I truly believe this meditation can do it when we interconnect our pineal glands. So thank you for joining me today. We'll be seeing you next Saturday, every Saturday, hopefully forever. And tell your friends about this. I recommend 6 times. Don't decide anything after once. So thanks. Have a good weekend.